guys, Larry up here in the Uper house, and I'm gonna get some construction work done. Pulled a nail out of there. I had 2 nails put in each corner because when I would leave, what I would do is I would hang a blanket over this door because there's no reason to heat this room. There's no water pipes in this room or whatsoever. So there was no reason to heat this, and all the water pipes are in the kitchen right behind you guys, the bathroom, and then through the main bedroom there's a laundry room in there. So those, what do you got? This room here would get heated because this is where the furnace is, so it just kind of had to heat this room. But you got 1, 2, 3, 4 rooms that I would heat when I was gone or whatever, just make sure the pipes didn't freeze in the house. But I had bought this quite a while ago. I plan on doing this, and I just never really got to it. Other things always come up, and deciding that I should get to this. I'm actively looking out there for jobs and stuff, and been online and everything, and looking around and talking to people and stuff, but I got some time right at the moment, so I'm deciding I'm going to get this. So what I'm going to do is I have a sliding barn door style. I have the whole rail kit that will mount up here, and that will mount up there and everything, and then the track and everything. The door will sit here. I'm going to have to cut the door down to a size to fit the doorway because it's too big. I couldn't get a door small enough because there's low ceilings. But the main problem is that the support beam here for the house, for this room, runs right here. There's a beam. It's surrounded by drywall and everything, but this beam is going to have to go up because the track is going to have to go right across here, and the door will slide back and forth. So I'm going to be putting a 4x4 post, and what I'm going to do is set it back. I got to make some measurements to figure out how far back that's going to be, and then I'm going to cut this beam up level with the ceiling, and I don't know, drywall mud or something like that to seal that in and everything. But cut this back, put a 4x4 post down to the floor, cut through the laminate flooring, and put it directly onto the floor for support for this beam. So it has support for this. So that's what I'm going to be doing, because the beam just ends right here at the wall, and this wall supports the beam. So I'm just going to put a 4x4 post out here, and then the door will slide behind that post.
3, 2, and a 1. Well, guys, I have penciled down. I've cut my 3.5 by 3.5 square there. I've gotten it up to the beam, to the main beam there. So now I am going to I measured it, and I left it just about a 16th to just a little bit over what it is. I figure I can pull it into place. And I've cut my beam. I've cut just a little bit of an angle on the front side of the beam so I can wedge it in there.
Top in first.
Next time, the final conclusion, we picked up the 8th round Premier League champion.
Lean back. There we go.
All right, guys, we got this post all set in. It's all screwed in. And actually, I feel really good about this because the other one actually wasn't even on top of the wall, that support beam. It was just a couple nails. And actually, when I put this post in there, it lifted this up and it kind of cracked it. It separated a little bit. So there's actually support here now where there wasn't really any support there before. I never really noticed that. But basically what I'm going to do is just pack all this with drywall mud. I'm going to pack it all in there and everything else. And it's going to be really thick and it's going to crack and everything. But I'm going to leave this for the night. And then I'll come in tomorrow and sand that across there. And then put another coat on it. And then probably tomorrow afternoon I'll be able to start hanging the door and everything and finishing this off. Well, guys, I have gotten this all drywalled up here. And got drywall mud all up on there and got that all finished up in there. And I put a coat of wall paint on there to cover up the drywall. And the next step in this is going to be putting trim up. Now, I have gotten this here trim, and it's just pine board trim. And the door, it needs 80 inches. The track is 80 inches. So I'm going to be putting it above the door going out. And then I'm also gonna put a piece of trim down each side of the door. The reason why is because the floor, because it's got that trim there. So the door is gonna be, if I don't put this up there, the door is gonna be sitting tighter on the top than the bottom. It's gonna be rubbing on that bottom trim down there every time you open and close it. So I'm gonna be trimming around the whole door. I'm gonna put it on the top, so when I mount the track on there, it's flush with the bottom trim. But then I'm gonna put a small strip all the way around it. And that way it closes it off. Otherwise it's gonna have like an inch gap all the way around it. This door is not gonna be made for like ceilinged height, like, you know, for airflow and stuff. But you know, you wanna have it, you know, so it's decent. So I cut the piece here and I cut it at 80 inches. I'm gonna be putting it above there. And then I'm gonna put the 2 tracks down the side. And when I do this, it's actually gonna end up like here. Sorry, my camera, I'm not doing it right. It's gonna be about here. I'm gonna have to put another little piece in there. Just kind of splice that in and stuff. So I'm gonna quick do that, throw the trim up around here, nail it up into place, and then I'm gonna put a coat of paint on those too to match the walls, I think. All right, guys, so we have this marked out for our track. We have our track here, it's all put together. And I put it up there and made sure it was gonna be level going across so the door doesn't, you know, move. So if you open or close, it stays where it's gonna be. Then it's going to be pretty much right even with this doorway, the bottom of the track is. It came down in measurement from the ceiling, and that will leave me a 1/4 inch, about 3/8 of an inch from the ceiling down to the top of the hanger. So that way I can hang the door, you know, once I put it on there, I'll be able to hang the door. I'll probably have to take it from the end, but what's gonna happen is that is gonna be like 3/8 of an inch from the ceiling. And I will have to trim this door because I could not find a short enough door to fit this. So all right, guys, we got this door fit in here. It was not an easy task. The problem is that I have very low ceilings in this house. They're about, I think they're not quite even 7 feet. They're pretty low, which is not a bad thing because then you don't have a lot of heat. You know, somebody that's 6'2", almost 6'3", I mean, it feels a little bit weird, but you get used to it. But somebody made a comment, well, low ceilings means less heat, and being up here in this cold temperature, you know, that's not a bad thing. But mounting stuff like this is a little bit difficult. And I have it mounted. The track, I thought I had it measured out perfect. I thought everything was good. And the problem is that things are not square here, and this ceiling is not square. And it was good over there. It's at the track level, but then when I rolled it over here, it was hitting up on the top. So basically what I did is I notched these holes that held the track and dropped them on just a little bit. And that's able to get it to I can slide it. Then I had to take the door and I had to cut it apart. Well, that's how the door is held together, is with these ends. So I took them apart and I trimmed down the nicer board, because the inside of these is made out of particle board. But I trimmed down the outside of them where the hardwood was, and I re-glued it on there, kind of reformed it. You can see how much I left of it, just a little bit, maybe a 1/2 inch. And then I just put the other boards up on top of it and then just glued them all in there and everything. It's all been dried and stuff. So now I got them mounted. And the little rollers, they actually just touch the nuts when I roll. You can hear them. Hear that? But it's nothing major. But right there it is. So the door is all mounted. So, and it's good. There's a little bit of a gap on the top, and I'm not gonna be able to get rid of that because I can't have it tight. And there's about a 3/8 inch gap down at the bottom. You need that for, you know, things swelling and everything else moving around. So the door is on there and it's gonna be nice. I like it. Well, guys, there it is, complete. I have painted everything up. I have a coat of paint on there. It's actually exterior paint because I made it white, and excuse me, that way it's easy to wipe off. That's basically the reason why. So if I get dirty fingerprints on it or something like that, it's easy to wipe off. I did have a little bit of bleed through with the tape that I used on the seams there and stuff. But I think it came out pretty good. I stained the center portions, and I put all the white on there and stuff. And then I wrapped my post here with pine and painted that all over and everything. And you can see I got the cart, the little liquor cart that the drunk carpenter made me, and it fits right nice with it. Looks all good with that. But you open it up and see it has a stop there that stops it. Kick the back because I opened a little fast. But then most of the time it'll just be like that. And if I want to close off that room or whatever, maybe if I have some extra guests coming, I can move that table in the living room, move that aside, and throw a blow-up mattress in there. And that has a separate heat source in there. You can close that off, and that becomes like a bedroom. So they can kind of close off. So then you got 2 bedrooms, but you can also use that too. So yeah, this came out really nice. I really like it. I think it's pretty good. And fits really nice with the fairy house here. And yeah, I think it came out really good. So yeah, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope that everybody out there is having themselves a great day, great night as they watch this here video. And if you're not, well, you can certainly try that all over again tomorrow. Got lots of different projects going on, trying to get a few things done this summer and everything. And you guys are going to be learning on my other channel what is happening with me, what is going on. And you guys are going to be able to be part of that. If you want to go look at my other channel, Long Haul Larry, you're going to be able to see that. And I'm actually going to have an opportunity for you guys to make a little bit of money. And I'm going to be putting it out there and letting you guys know what I'm doing. And you guys can join in and you guys can make some money. So you guys, I'll check out the other channel for that one. So I will catch you guys later. See ya.